exposure to the elements supporting why the structure was considered dangerous and unsafe. Next slide, please. Actions met during that time. The matter was originally came to the commission because the building had conditions significant enough to justify dangerous and unsafe under the code for Junction City. Staff followed the legal requirement process, including notice and hearings. After hearing from the property owner, the commission still found that the structure met the threshold for dangerous and unsafe determination, and also allowed time for repairs or demolition by the homeowner. Next slide, please. Structural issues identified. Engineering, following the report that we received this year, the engineering finding shows that the issues are not isolated to just cosmetic facade problems. The report described multiple structural concerns affecting the collapsed area, the west wall, roof framing, floor framing, and portions of the basement and foundation systems.
I thought you said 26, but is it 25 or 26?
So the issue started in 25 is when the collapse happened.
Right.
During that time, so it was already, we already had designated as dangerous and unsafe. This just expedited the process, excuse me. You guys, the commission at that time willed it 180 days. Mr. Godfrey actually had come back and asked for an extenuation for that because he was seeking grants at that time. I believe that was pushed out for a year. Again, next slide will show some of the other further damages that are there as well. Next slide, please. The importance of the report does not say that the entire building is a total loss. They did indicate that the eastern portion remains within sound body, while also the west side and the collapsed area is the most urgent and costly concerns. Again, the west side, if you're looking at that, standing portions of it are in fair good condition with major concerns because it is still open to the elements from the top. And then also some of the shoring that was done is starting to deteriorate because of the elements. Next slide, please. Engineer reports support stability first, then permanent structural repairs. The most immediate concern is stopping the additional deterioration from the elements. After that, restoration work would be focused on the rebuilding the collapsed structure elements, addressing masonry damage, and replacing framing. If you guys look at this, the identified structural analysis was done by an independent contractor that was done by Mr. Godfrey. This is coming from their findings. The engineer, Call Valley, did review those analysis, and this is where some of later on in the report you guys will see that where they got their findings from and where you guys should be leading forward to. So cleaning out the collapsed area as soon as possible to prevent further water damage, installing temporary walling for the basement slab to the roof adjacent from the collapsed area, which would be the westernmost part of the building, to reduce water penetration. Protection from the elements, addressing the primary addressing the damaged west wall rather than relying on temporary shoring, and then replacing damaged roof trusses and floor trusses. Next slide, please. Again, removing and replacing the floor, decking, and planking were recommended. Repairing masonry by replacing damaged brick and mortar, repairing the wall areas, repairing concrete areas in the basement and basically in those areas. Again, next slide, please. So, repair path, Call Valley Engineering, based off the report that they received from this, the building remains is basically able to be restored if repaired, in a timely manner. However, demolition remains a, fallback alternative if the city deems fit or the owner deems fit. With that, I will state that in the report from Call Valley, estimated cost for the option of demolition is somewhere between $100,000 and $150,000. And that is total price for demolition, shoring up the basement, and having the property ready to go for future developments.
You mean taking down the facade too?
That everything, that would include everything.
What's the, just on that point, is that building on the historic register or not?
It is. I'm actually going to bring that up here in just a second. Yeah. Next slide, please. So takeaways from the engineering, responsibility is recommended that the owner headway and move forward with the project. One, for the safety issues to move forward, and then into the rehabilitation of the building or demolition of the building. While making clear that is also while giving us a clear and precise timeline of construction and what options are moving forward by the owner, and whether or not demolition and public safety are the best for the community. I will state with that, it is, as Mr. Panier brought up, it is under the historical site, or SHPO, as most will know. With that, that does offer options for the owner or the city, depending on which way you guys decide to go with this. There's a couple of grants out there, one being the HEAL grant, which is the Historical Economic Asset Lifeline grant. Also, you can combine that with the Emergency HEAL grant as well.
What are the deadlines on those?
On the grants themselves. I believe the deadlines for application is August of this year. I will have to double check, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. For both of those, yes. Most of the time, grant season will end around August or October timeframe.
Has Mr. Godfrey applied for these grants before?
So with the extension that was given by the commission the last time he was here, he did state that he was in the process of trying to apply for those grants. From my understanding, that kind of went to the wayside, and Mr. Godfrey did try to basically give that building to Junction City Main Street. At that time, Junction City Main Street denied that, and then he has been in pursuit of trying to sell the building as of today.
Wasn't there a CDBG grant that was, a deadline was July 1 of 25?
That is one of those. That is also another grant that he would be able to apply for, which is the commercial rehabilitation grant. That grant is, we can apply all the way, or he could apply all the way up to August with our support with that grant. Kind of the same thing we did with Highwind when they applied.
So Mr. Godfrey has set the expectation that he is looking to sell this property at the time, but in the meantime, is it the understanding that he will continue to pursue these grant opportunities?
As of right now, from my understanding, he has not pursued any grants. He has been pursuing selling the property only, from my last discussion with him.
When you said went to the wayside,
Mhm.
do you mean it didn't come to
He-
fruition? They were not submitted?
That they were not submitted, from my understanding. That he started the process. It was never, the applications were never turned in. It just didn't happen.
Could we ask him to come to the next meeting and address?
So by hearing standards, because I will be bringing this forth, it is considered a hearing. He will need to be here so that he can discuss with you guys the options.
Can you share with him those 3 grant possibilities before the meeting?
Totally could, yes.
I think that'd be helpful.
What is the timeline for that hearing?
First meeting in June.
Okay.
Was all the damage from the storm?
I would say a majority of the damage that you see today, yes, was from the storm when the roof collapsed from the water. Yes, ma'am.
Before that, there were issues regarding different kinds of mold in the building before the collapse, and that was one of the issues that existed several years ago.
And there was
I
some,
don't know if we have records on that, but
I can look, I do know that it was brought forth before, there were some facade issues of just the outer front of deterioration and things of that nature.
December 2023.
December of 2023.
So everything structurally happened from the storm?
Correct, from my understanding, yes.
And he had no insurance on the building to repair it at all, put a claim or whatever?
It is my understanding that there was, what he thought there was insurance on that building. There was a certain individual that I guess was overseeing that as his insurance agency. Come to find out, there was a big fiasco. I don't know the whole story.
Okay, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So with that, like I said, guys, this is just basic information for you guys as I bring forth next month for the hearing. Mr. Godfrey will be here. Staff recommendation and what I will be recommending next month to you is one, immediately that the weathering and shoring of the building should, for the safety of the public, should be done immediately. A timeline should also be done immediately if the commission seems deemed fit to allow Mr. Godfrey to continue to work on the building within reason so that work can be done and completed within a timely manner. The other option that you do have is that we can move into two reasonable, or one reasonable thing, way of going, which is condemnation, which then we can go ahead and look at possible demolition of that building. With that said, I would also mention that if we do wind up, or you guys see it will to demolition the land, we should also be starting to think about what possible having that vacancy right there in the heart of downtown, what that would do to the facade of downtown, one, and then what would be the procedures for new buildings being built there due to the fact that it is historical. So just something to think about as I bring that forth.
if that option is pursued, which I would prefer, that it be rehab, but if that's pursued,
Mhm.
any demolition costs, can those be recovered
So-
from the owner?
So yes, through the way that it would be is we would take possession of the building only, not the land. We would go in, demolition the building. Once it has been demoed, that is then billed to the landowner. The landowner has a time process of when that needs to be paid. If it does not, then it goes into collections. Again, we go through that time limit, and then if not, then it will be pursued through tax lien for on the actual land itself.
The other residential demolitions, they get charged to the land,
That is correct.
but we haven't pursued collection of those
So we-
historically.
We do, so since I've been here, we do send out a bill to the landowners.
But I mean, in court,
No,
is that an option?
I believe it could be.
I think
Yes.
we need to know that too.
I can definitely bring that forward to you guys, for sure.
Chris?
Yes, ma'am.
Just second, yes. Could you comment on the impact of, if this building wasn't there, the one next door to 615 North Washington, as far as stability? I believe there's some kind of conversation about that as well.
Yes, ma'am. So there's two beams, or two I-beams in the roof, and then there's also two I-beams for the flooring that actually connect to both buildings on each side of that. So that would be something that, as we're going in to those repairs or demolitions, that would be a costly measure going into ensuring that those stability of those buildings are actually done correctly. And that, I believe, should not fall on the actual landowners. That should be taken forth when the repairs or the building is demoed by the owner or thereof.
One other thing, there's a legal obligation of the owner of that property to address the party walls on either side. We took down the Junction Theater many years ago, right beside the Italian restaurant. That's why that parking lot is there, and the city has obligation to take care of that party wall with the, it used to be the Dryling building, the limestone building where the restaurant is. So we are maintaining our side of the party wall, and we will, if we become the proud owners of that, we will have to do that if there's a demolition. So there's that added expense going forward, that it's not just the demolition expense, it's the future liability. So it'll look like, you know, if it's an open shell, that those party walls are still the obligation of the owners, if it be the city or the present owner.
So he offered.
There-
Go ahead, Terry.
I
There's
didn't-
some additional information as well. So, phase one with the brownfield was done. And I do know there's some funding through the Flint Hills Regional Council for remediation if, for instance, there was asbestos that during the collapse, it became a part of within the structure. So that's a financial avenue to pursue. And additionally, there was a feasibility study for an incubator kitchen and offices and other items as through Main Street. There were 3 buildings just randomly selected, small, medium, and large, and that was one of them.
So this was offered to Main Street?
From my understanding, that was one of the avenues that Mr. Godfrey did go to Junction City Main Street to offer them the building. With that, I believe there was a request for a structural study done. And then Junction City Main Street, after receiving that study, had a vote and gracefully declined him donating the building to them.
Okay. Do we have any numbers on what this would look like
As far as
to completely
Restore.
as restoration, no. I only have demolition as far as what I have.
And if we saw correctly, that's between 100 and 150,000?
100 and 150,000 is the estimated cost for demolition.
Oh, at least $500,000 to put it back together.
Yeah.
At least. At least $500,000.
At least, yes. Especially with the restrictions from SHPMO as well. I mean, your added cost there.
Safety stuff.
You had mentioned the basement when you said if it needs to be torn down.
Mhm.
What about the basement? Is the basement gonna stay there? Would the basement come out?
So it would come out and then it would be refilled back in.
Okay.
So
I just- You mentioned basement and
Yeah.
I didn't catch what you said.
so the basement would need to be completely tore out of the ground and then the ground leveled back out and packed with dirt. So in closing.
May I ask you to speak into your mics? I'm sorry, I'm having a
Oh.
hard time hearing. Thank
Yep,
you.
no worries.
I believe Madam Mayor Butler is referring to the commissioners. Yours is probably the most sensitive at the moment.
I hope so. So in closing, again, the structure was brought forth to the commission because the present danger and unsafe conditions. Engineer's analysis confirms subtle structural concerns, especially to the west side portion. Repairs are possible, but prompt stability and permanent corrective action is necessary. And the city should, my recommendation when brought forth, the city should move forward with structural action, or making the owner proceed with structural actions, planning or plans focused on safety, preservation, and accountability for the property.
Last question for you, Mr. Strackengast. I understand you recently offered us a budget discussion in anticipation of 2027, and I would suspect with the timeline, given we may see this cost enter that 2027 era. So my question for you is, would there be enough monies available to mitigate this demolition?
So if we brought it forth to commission next month, and you
Hypothetically.
guys, depending on the will of the commission, if you decided to grant Mr. Godfrey an extension as far as the timeline, doing the shoring and the weathering right away before rehabilitation, those monies would not come out of the GL. If you guys decided that you would want it to do now, and demolition was the only option, those monies would come out of my GL this year because I would move straight forward into getting this done as fast as possible.
Understood. And
Depending on if bid processes go through and we get everything done before the winter, right?
that's my point of hesitation.
Now, if we could move into next year, because, second,
If you move into next year, what we'll do is he'll do a PO and it'll encumber those funds, so it won't hit the 27 budget, it'll still be in the 26 budget.
Okay, and so do we feel that we have enough funds within that line? Excellent, thank you.
Knowing what I have left in there, yes.
Thank you, both of you.
Yep.
Any further discussion at this time?
Mr. Godfrey, he used to have a construction company, does he still have one, and can he do the?
I believe he still does own, so I believe he would be able to perform the work, some of that work himself, as long as he's licensed and insured to do the quality of work that he is it's prescribing to do.
I guess I'd wanna know the cost for potential restoration of the shell anyway, of the
Mm.
building, before we go forward and make a decision, I think, just to have the information, especially if we've gotta take ownership, or let's just get rid of it, or whatever happens.
I agree. I think this is a good time to concern the hypotheticals and come into this public hearing prepared.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
And regarding Commissioner Panera's question regarding collection, I checked the ordinance and the state statute real quick. So basically what we can do is take those costs, we can send the bill out, and if he pays it, he pays it. Or you can do a lien on the property, or you can do an assessment, a special assessment and the cost of that. And once it's paid off, then it's paid off. If it goes unpaid for a 12-month period for a year, then we can do a collection action as if it was a personal debt that was owed, but not until we do the special assessment route.
Do you happen to know what the cost of that action is with the city? What does it cost us to pursue that?
You mean a legal action?
Correct.
I think that's
How
hard
many
to
people on
predict,
staff already?
but a lot cheaper than paying 150,000 or whatever. A lot
Certainly.
cheaper than that.
I just like to
Yeah, because
know.
we already have CBK that we do collection through. They do collection on behalf of EMS as well as customer service, AKA the water department, as well as court fines that are owed. And then they end up having a percentage or attorney's fees on top of that with it.
But you could do that though, couldn't you?
Yes, I can, yeah.
Okay.
So,
So my understanding is nobody wants the building, everybody's trying to say you fix it, is that what's going on?
I suppose we'll find out.
More than likely.
So,
Not sure who would want it.
so I do know that after the turning down from Main Street, he did have a potential buyer. I don't believe that went through. And then last discussion that I had with Mr. Godfrey, there was he did state that there was a potential buyer with a contract. Where that has gone, I have not heard. I have not had an update from Mr. Godfrey.
What time was that?
That was
A couple months
less
ago?
than a month.
Oh, so quite
So
recent.
it's quite recently, yes.
Interesting.
So what if it does sell?
So if it does sell, the new landowner would still be under obligation to bring the bill. It would still stay on the dangerous and unsafe, safe protocols. That landowner would then assume responsibility for that and then have to start working forward to bringing that building up or demoing.
So is there anything that's going to, on the city side, make sure that whoever this buyer is able to improve the building as needed?
So I would bring it forth to you, again, saying, hey, there's been new information, there's a new buyer. I'd like to use Martin Toth as a prime example. He brought that property that I brought forth to you guys, I believe last month. He bought it, had some issues with monies or whatnot, or the deed being transferred. Once it got transferred, the commission willed it to give him some more time. I'm figuring that would be the same process as well, except with this one, I would say maybe not as much time because of
So
this safety
there's no
issue.
assurances that the person, the buyer purchasing this property is gonna have the funds?
No, I would say no.
Awesome.
But
I
we
have-
can say with our process.
We could continue.
But we
regardless
can
of-
continue with our process does not stop. So if the new landowner comes in and or purchases it, and at that time he says, I need 2 years, it is the commission's will. If they go, okay, hey, that's not enough time, or that's too much time, we're gonna move forward.
One other thing I'd like to suggest to the city manager, because there's a lot involved here, is that maybe city manager, this is a suggestion only, that he and you and a couple other people sit down with Mr. Godfrey so he knows fully what his options are before he comes to the meeting. I think it would be fair to him and it would expedite our meeting.
Good idea.
Agreed.
We will be reaching out to Mr. Godfrey next week, actually, to let him know that his case is bringing forth next month.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Strackengast.
Thank you.
We had C for update of city projects on our agenda, but Mr. Zimmerman is out sick today. We hope that he feels better, so we will be moving on to number 5, appointments. Item A, consideration of the Dorothy Bramlage Public Library Board of Trustees request to appoint Diane Bristensky Leonard to the library board for a 4-year term from 2026 to 2030.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Excellent. Moving on to 6, new business. We have a slew of abatements, starting with A, consideration of resolution number R-3140, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 125 East 12th Street.
Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, Christopher Strackengast, Community Development Director. Today I bring forth to you R-3140. On February 3rd of 2026, the city cited a notice of violation for the property at 125 East 12th Street due to the presence of multiple outdoor items, lumber, trash, debris, and dead tree limbs stored in the fence of the backyard. Despite this notification, the property owner has made no effort into fully correcting the cited violations. Since the initial notice, the indoor furniture, lumber, trash, and dead tree limbs in the fenced backyard have largely remained with no communication with our office. The certified letter was sent out on February 3rd of 2026. Postal records indicated it was not received and was returned to our office on March 4th of 2026. With that notice, it was posted to the property on March of 2026. Since that date, for that property, there has been no communication. There has been no cleanup, and added debris has been added to the back of the property that's fenced in. It is the staff's recommendation to approve resolution R-3140 for corrective action for the location of 125 East 12th Street due to the presence of multiple items to include indoor furniture, lumber, trash, debris, and dead limbs to be abated. And I'm here to take any questions at this time.
Is the property owner here tonight?
Negative.
Do we, do we send them a letter that's not certified also?
That is correct. So our procedures is certified letter, non-certified letter, depending on what we find there. It not only goes to the landowner, but it also goes to a tenant if it is a rental property as well.
And also the posting?
That is correct.
Who is the landowner?
That I am unsure of. I don't have the name with me.
Okay.
Move to approve resolution 3140 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any additional commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. On to item B, consideration of resolution number R-3141, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 136A East Vine Street.
Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, January 12th of 2026, city issued a notice of blight for the address at 136 Alpha East Vine Street due to the accumulation of trash, debris, tree limbs, wood, junk vehicles, and general neglect and maintenance. Despite the notification, the property owner has made no effort to address or correct city violations. Since the incident of the notice, the condition of the property continues to decline, marked by ongoing blight issues spanning back from the last couple of years. Code enforcement met the homeowner at the property and explained what needed to be corrected. To this date, the property owner has failed to take any corrective action in response to the city's repeated attempts to secure the voluntary compliance. That letter was sent out on January 14th of 2026. It was returned February 12th of 2026. Following the lack of response, the physical copy of the notice was handed to the current occupant, citing the same unresolved violations. The second notice was also given but unanswered. As of today's date, there has been no communication. Outside of the fence was abated and mowed last Thursday. Inside still needs to be mowed, and trash and debris needs to be collected and removed.
So we've made contact with both the homeowner and the occupant, is that correct?
That is correct. Yes.
Understood. I did notice, I drove by there this weekend and I noticed they had cleaned up the outside portion, as you noted, but the interior is obviously still a point of concern. And I do understand that you do typically revisit these properties to understand the current state before pursuing action.
That is correct, yes, ma'am.
Excellent.
Who's the owner?
Again, I don't know the name off the top of my head.
Okay.
I know addresses. I don't know names.
Okay.
Move to approve resolution 3141 as presented.
Second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Item C, consideration of resolution number R-3142, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of Section 235 of the City Code at 139 West 14th Street.
On April 16th of 2026, the city issued a notice of violation to 139 West 14th Street due to extreme high vegetation. Despite the notification and the posting on the property owner has made no effort to address or correct the city violation. Since the incident, the initial notice and the continuation of the high vegetation inside the fence has continued to decline and become unsafe. To this date, the property owner has failed to take any corrective actions or respond to the city's attempts to secure compliance with the violation. A certified letter and regular mail letter was sent out on April 16th of 2026, and Post Records confirmed that the letter was returned on April 28th of 2026. On April 29th, the notice of violation was posted to the property. As of today, no communication has been brought forth by the owner to our office. It has not been mowed or cleaned up, and the tree is still on the house, from my understanding. So during I guess a tree fell over on the house during the last. So with that, city recommends the abatement for resolution R3142 due to non-communication and continuous violation of city code.
Is there a person occupying this home at this time?
I'm unsure. We have tried to see. We are not completely sure if someone is there or if it's vacant or abandoned.
Do you check to see if the water,
We do check to see. So there is an active water account to it, but again, we're very unsure if there's somebody living there.
Understood.
Move to approve resolution 3142 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item D, consideration of resolution number R-3143, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of Section 235 of the City Code at 504 West 13th Street.
Mayors or the Vice Mayor Commissioners, on March 20th of 2026, the city issued a notice of violation to the property at 504 West 13th Street due to the presence of multiple items of outdoor furniture, lumber, trash, debris, dead tree limbs, and a fallen tree on the house inside the fenced backyard. Despite the notification, the property owner has made no effort to fully correct the cited violation. Since the initial notice, indoor furniture, lumber, trash, debris, dead tree, and fallen tree on the house of the inside of the back fence have largely remained with no communication to our office. Certified mail and regular mail was sent out on March 20th of 2026. A certified letter was not received and returned to the office on April 6th of 2026. A copy was then posted on the property April 7th of 2026. As of this writing, the indoor furniture, lumber, trash, debris, and the fallen tree within the backyard fence remain a blight condition. Due to the lack of progress and the absence of the owner's communication, the city is seeking authorization to intervene and complete an abatement for the property at 504 West 13th Street. I will say, again, we did try to reach out to the owner twice with no feedback from that, and it still has not been cleaned up as far as today.
My understanding is the abatement presented today is concerning exterior blight. Have we addressed the state of the building itself?
That was brought up during our conversations, and an IMPC process will be brought forth as we gather our evidence. We'll bring it forth. We'll, again, by our codes, we will have to set a hearing and start the process from there.
So we are pursuing that.
We are pursuing, yes.
Candidly, when I drove past this property, I was more terrified by the building than the weeds. Okay. It's a little spooky.
Move to approve resolution 3143 as presented.
Second.
I just have two questions.
Sorry.
Do we know? No, you're good. Do you know who the owner of that one is? So I won't ask anymore.
Again, I'm not very good with names.
Okay.
I know addresses though.
Batting 1,000.
I yes.
That's
But
okay.
what I will do is I will email you tomorrow with the names of what I have on the registered deeds
Okay.
for the owners of those
And then
properties.
secondly, is there an active water account there?
That I am unsure of. I don't know about that one, but I will answer that with you in that email tomorrow for you as well.
Thank you.
Commissioner Panay, may I ask your point of intention by requesting the name of the owners?
Because some people, there might be some people that might be interested in pursuing purchase of those buildings, and also some of us might know them and call them and ask them, hey, what are you going to do?
Makes sense. Okay. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Mr. Panir, just so you know, if you guys look through your packet, the notice violation is within the packet of this, and the names are on the top right-hand side of that
Okay.
notice violation.
I didn't look at that part. I saw all these, and thank you. So we don't need an email from you then, correct?
Correct, but I'm willing to give you one if you'd like.
It'd be nice if it was all on one page. I'd appreciate that if you will do
The
that.
owner lives in Florida,
Oof. Okay.
Franklin Gums.
Call the
Oh,
question then. But we didn't vote on it, did the motion?
we had a
We did.
motion, a
Okay,
second.
I thought I asked two questions and we stopped, sorry.
Yays, nays.
Okay.
Did we yay, nay? We're good? Yay, excellent. Okay. So I believe that was item D.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. Moving on to item E, consideration of resolution number R-3144, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 705 West 13th Street.
On February 25th of 2026, the city issued a notice of violation to the property at 705 West 13th Street due to the massive brush pile, trees, tree limbs in the backyard and behind the fence. Despite notification and posting to the property owner has made no effort into addressing or correcting city violations. Since the condition of the brush pile has continued to decline and has become unsafe. To this date, the property owner has failed to take any corrective action or response to the city's attempts to secure voluntary compliance. The initial certified letter in regular mail was sent out February 25th of 2026. Postal records confirm that the letter was returned on March 4th of 2026. A copy of the letter was posted on the property March 6th of 2026. I will state with this, there's been no communications. There was an abatement for the mowing of the outside of the fence last Thursday. No cleanup of the house has been done. The house was boarded up, or is boarded up, and is to believe to be, or was boarded up about a year ago from my department as an emergency board up. And we believe that the building may be abandoned or vacant. There is no active water count, gas count, or anything like that.
Mr. Strackengas, can you remind us of procedure regarding abandoned buildings within the city?
So as of right now, if it is abandoned, we make all efforts to get with the landowner. If we are unaware of doing that, then we can go ahead and start the dangerous and unsafe, and work those avenues and processes.
Understood, thank you.
The owner's in Hawaii, so.
Man,
probably not hear too much.
I wanna be in Hawaii.
So again, as of this date, the massive brush pile, trash, tree limbs remain unmaintained, and blight conditions are as shown. Given the condition of uncompliance from the owner and worsening state of the debris, the city is seeking authorization to intervene and carry out an abatement measures with the passing of resolution R 3144 for the property at 705 West 13th Street.
Are the taxes up to date?
That I am not sure of, but I can definitely find out before the end of this meeting for you.
What is the will of the commission?
Move to approve resolution 3144 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Vice Mayor, before we proceed,
Yes, sir.
Ms. Nimchik, is that something that you would like me to
Nimzik.
bring? Nimzik, I'm so sorry.
Okay.
Is that something that you would like me to bring forth when I start
I
bringing?
can look it up myself.
Okay, just asking if that is something that you guys would like to have in the report.
I'm just curious if all these people abandon their properties, are the taxes still being paid? Is there a mortgage on it? Is it going to come to tax sale at some point? Or is it going to be a foreclosure? Just so we know, like, how far we have to push this before we spend all this money, and there's already a second and maybe a first and maybe a second.
Excellent point. Thank you. Moving on to item F, consideration of resolution number R-3145, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 712 West 10th Street.
Mayor's Commissioner, on February 11th, 2026, the city issued a notice of violation for the property at 712 West 10th Street due to brush piles, scattered trash, debris, and dead tree limbs inside the fenced-in area. Despite notification of the property to the property owner, no effort has been made to address the corrective action. The letter was sent out on February 13th of 2026. Postal records confirmed that the letter was returned to our office on March 3rd of 2026. As of this writing, the brush pile, the scattered trash, the debris, and dead tree limbs inside the fence area remain in an untamed and blight condition, giving the continuous of noncompliance, absence of owner's communication, and the worsening status of the blight issues. City is seeking authorization for resolution R-3145. As of today's date, we have had no communication. There has been no cleanup. Overgrowth of vegetation has proceeded to get worsen, and we have also received neighborly complaints about the site conditions and why the process has been taking so long.
I think that's quite valid. I'm glad that we can take action to speak to these things when they contact us.
Was that property previously subject to a demolition of the house that was that location
I don't believe that's one of the locations that I have, no.
in the past?
Within the last 2 years, I will say no.
Okay.
Before the last 2 years,
Possibly.
I'm not tracking.
I would be curious as well. When I drove by this, it took me a little bit because there was no house, and I almost
Yeah,
missed it.
my recollection is if that's behind that apartment building at 10th and Clay, there was a house there, but sometime, I don't know how long ago.
Understood. What is the will of the
Move to
commission?
approve resolution 3145 as presented.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Item G, consideration of resolution number R-3146, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 734 West 9th Street.
Again, Vice Mayor Commissioners, February 25th of 2026, city issued a notice of violation for the property at 734 West 9th Street due to the presence of multiple items to include outdoor furniture, lumber, tree, debris, and dead tree limbs stored within the fenced-in yard. Despite notification, the property owner has made no effort to fully correct the cited violation. Since the notice was given out, in the indoor furniture, lumber, trash, and outdoor debris in the fenced-in area have largely remained with no communication to our office. Certified mail and regular mail was issued out on February 25th of 2026. Postal records indicate the notice was received and signed for on March 2nd of 2026. As of today's date, there has been no communication. The items have not been cleaned up. We did notice that the front door may have been kicked in or knocked off of its hinges. With the peeking in of that, we did notice that the house is fully gutted. I mean, all the way down to the framing. With that, and then the trash accumulation being there. We are going to be issuing an emergency board up for that property with this abatement as well. And we believe there is no active water account that we have found, and we believe that the building may be abandoned or vacant at this time. City staff is recommending the approval to seek authorization for the abatement property at 734 West 9th Street with the passing of resolution R3146, and I am here to take any questions at this time.
I noticed, and you may have said this, on these, I noticed the mailing to the names that Commissioner mentioned, and do you go to the assessor's office to get these addresses?
So we use our software that is provided by the county, and then we also double check that mail with the registered deeds office and also the appraiser's office to ensure we're not wasting taxpayers' money with mail.
Well, I'm not worried about that particularly. I noticed the address on this one is a P.O. box in Manhattan, and the violation is at a local address, and
Correct.
I just wondered if you send it to both of those.
We send them to both, yes.
Okay, thank you.
And then I believe I may have missed it, but it was posted to the property as well.
Move to approve resolution 3146 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item H, I think. It's a lot of these. Consideration of resolution number R-3147, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 819 West 10th Street.
On February 25th of 2026, city issued a notice of violation for the property at 819 West 10th Street due to scattered trash, debris, shopping carts, tires in the backyard. Despite notification and posting to the property owner has made no effort to address the correction for the cited violation. Since the issuing of the notice, the condition of the scattered trash, debris, shopping carts, and tires in the backyard continues to decline and become unsafe. To this date, the property owner has failed to take any corrective action or respond to the city's attempt to secure compliance. The issue of notification by certified mail was February 25th of 2026. Records confirm that the letter was returned March 30th of 2026. A copy was then posted April 6th of 2026. As of today's date, no communication has been made. No cleanup has been made. Trash has been added to the backyard on last inspection, which was this week. And the dead tree limbs remain as the original complaint. City staff is recommending the approval for resolution R3147 for the authorization to abate property at 819 West 10th Street, and I'm here to answer any questions at this time.
I have questions that are not specific to this location regarding tires and shopping carts. I understand some citizens use tires for gardening purposes. At what point are they considered a blight versus a utility or a modality of gardening?
So I will say that I have seen people within the community take tires and use garden pavers and things of that nature to decorate them and use them as planters, and that would be an okay process, right? It's yard art, as most would say. If it's just a tire laying on the ground in your front yard, that is a nuisance and it becomes debris.
What if they paint the tire?
Again, I would consider within reasonable expectations. I mean, if we went out there and looked at it.
Yeah.
No, you
Blue
can do
jay,
whatever
blue
color you
bust.
want.
Okay, so
We-
a demonstrated
we-
intent.
Right, we do use reason when it comes to something like that. Yes, ma'am.
Understood. So, is it illegal for me to have a shopping cart?
Yeah.
Not that I have one, but
I
I'm
mean,
just
technically
curious.
it would be stolen property.
What if I you can buy them, I'm just saying. I'm just curious. Not that I have one. I do see
I will say
citizens
most that I
using them.
know that are not at the owner's residence are not owned by
them.
those residents. So,
Quick side story. When I first purchased my home, I live near an alley that receives a lot of foot traffic, and a mysterious shopping cart appeared by my garage from a very niche grocery chain in Louisiana. I was very impressed that it reached Kansas, and then it mysteriously disappeared a couple weeks later. And I was always curious, at what point is it a matter of lack of ownership or blight, or what if I put plants in it? I don't know. Just curious. It is gardening season. Not that I have
Approve
one.
resolution 3147 as
Second.
presented.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further commentary? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 Aye. All opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item I, consideration of resolution number R-3148, authorizing city staff or other agents of the city to abate conditions in violation of section 235 of the city code at 1408 North Adams Street.
Mayor's Commissioner, on April 22nd, 2026, the city issued a notice of violation at the property of 1408 North Adams Street due to high vegetation. Despite this notification and posting on the property, the property owner has made no effort to address or correct this cited violation. Since the issuing of the notice, the condition of high vegetation inside of the back fence has conditioned to decline and become unsafe. To this date, the property owner has failed to take any corrective action or respond to city's attempts to secure a voluntary compliance. Notification by mail and certified mail was sent out on April 22nd of 2026. Postal records confirm that the letter was returned on May 5th of 2026. A copy was posted on May 6th of 2026. As of this date, there's been no communication. There has been no attempts to correct the high vegetation. The Building and Codes Department has received numerous complaints from the neighbors complaining that it is taking way too long. As of last Thursday, the front of the property was abated by mowing, but the backyard still needs to be abated. City is recommending the approval of Resolution 3148, excuse me, I'm sorry, 3148, to have authorization to abate property at 1408 North Adams Street, and I'm here to take any questions at this time.
It's 8 inches is the standard?
8 inches is, yes, is city code. Anything over 8 inches or above, it will need to be cut.
How high is this?
Oh, I think now,
At least a foot.
Yeah.
at least a foot.
When I drove by, I noticed the front was cleaned up, and I was confused until I cut through the alley, and it is quite up there. I mean,
So if you look at the stick, right, can you go back to that first picture, please? So if you look at the measuring stick that my staff uses, the green is 8 inches. Anything after the green is above 8 inches.
in circumstances where it's like 9 or 10 inches, maybe they're seeding their lawn or something, do we,
Normally, we'll send out a letter, and at that time, the owners will reach out to us, if they do reach out to us. That is their time to kind of educate us, tell us what they're doing. We normally take that in consideration and work with those landowners as that process is being done. And then we also take that opportunity to educate them on the code and where to find the code so they can understand why they received the letter.
understood? Thank you.
Move to approve resolution 3148.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Mayors, Commissioner, Vice Mayor, thank you. I'm done for the night.
Don't jinx it. Thank you, Mr. Starkingast. Moving on to item J, consideration of the request to award bid for the 2026 citywide mastic crack repair for Sutterwood Subdivision, North Park, Mans Ranch, Summer Area, East Ash, Caroline, and Wildcat Lane to Parking Lot Maintenance LLC in the amount of $322,150.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, this is a continuation of the taking care of some of these large cracks in these areas. We went out for bid again. On May 6th, we received bids from 4 different companies, Parking Lot Maintenance LLC for $322,150,000, Stripe and Seal for $369,600, Northwest Asphalt Maintenance for $468,140, and Vance Brothers LLC for $562,316. The engineer's estimate was for the project was $607,500, and parking lot maintenance was a low bid by $285,350. We do have the money within the street fund, and city staff recommends awarding the bid to Parking Lot Maintenance LLC in the amount of $322,150. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
How do we have bids that are consistently almost half of the estimate?
Mobilization.
Mobilization
typically,
costs,
where they have to come from.
and some of it's traffic control as well.
Okay.
But these guys, is this the group from Hayes?
No, this is a group out at Lake St. Louis.
We've talked about this before. We have a crack filling machine that takes 6 people to operate, as I understand it. Am I right?
Correct.
And
This is not crack sealing.
what is it exactly then?
This is a mastic. It's a whole different process.
I see. Is it on the crack, so?
It's on the white cracks. You're talking 2 or 4 inch cracks, and depth's probably about anywhere from 2 to 4 inches or maybe deeper. So that's a whole different process. You don't do
Okay.
that with a crack sealing machine.
Do these come from widening over time? Is that why crack sealing would not work if it
Correct.
was done earlier?
If we got to, I mean, here again, you gotta figure out how big the cracks become, water, moisture works on it, pavement, the traffic on it causes some of these issues.
But what I'm saying is if we got to these earlier, would we get to this process where we're using the mastic?
In some areas, yes, in some areas, no. These areas were already, the areas that we're talking about already, these areas already have these wide cracks to begin with. That would not help.
I will note, I did look at the Sutter Woods area, and I found one that visibly looked like it had been sealed, and it was about that wide and about that deep. So it looks like we did attempt to seal it in the past, but Mother Nature took that quite personally.
I remember, I hate to say that, but I remember from years ago, you and I had the same discussion about crack sealing. Now, I understand this is a different process. And you indicated that the present crack sealing machine, although it's a different issue based on what you've said, it takes 6 people to operate. And the last time we bought a crack sealing machine, I recall that you advised me that it didn't work a long time ago. I don't remember when. If the 6-person machine isn't workable because of the staff, why don't we get a smaller machine that can do the crack sealing with a fewer people? Is that possible? I don't know. And number 2, because we did that crack sealing with the Hayes family business out there in the same area, correct?
Correct. Here's the problem. Doesn't make any difference to go to a smaller unit. You gotta hook it to the truck. You got a guy in the truck. You got an air compressor with 2 guys, a guy on the truck and air compressor blowing out the crack. Then you got the crew loading the machine, laying down the material, and then having somebody spread it out. So it takes that many guys plus traffic control.
So why did we buy the machine in the first place?
Because at the time that we did not have the funding to go do all the street maintenance that we've been doing. So one of the reasons we did this was try to prevent some of this stuff from happening, getting these big cracks. So that's why we started doing that.
Does the city staff have the capability to do this crack filling?
We don't have the staff presently to do that.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Move to approve the award of bid to Parking Lot Maintenance LLC as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item K, consideration of the grant of permanent easement near the Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church for the purpose of construction, installing, repairing, replacing, and maintaining a public roadway and utilities in the amount of $4,069.20.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, these next set of items I'm bringing up for easement are for the roundabout at McFarland and Eisenhower. The first one is for the permanent easement from the Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church, and it's for 9,846 square foot of property. And that property is on the screen right now would be the big triangular green piece right next to McFarland Road, and that and that little red piece right there by the blue, that's for the sidewalk. And that is the section of easement that we are trying to obtain for the roundabout. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Has the church expressed any concern with this action?
No, they do not.
Is this brought to us mostly just for formal process?
Correct.
Understood.
The $4,069.20, that's what we're paying them for the easement?
That is correct. For the permanent easement, that's what we did. I had to follow, this being a KDOT project and federal funds, I have to follow the Uniform Act. I'm certified from KDOT to be able to do that, and then what we do, we sit down, we notify the property owner. Once we notify them, then we sit down and go through the process of determining what that value of that piece of property is. In this particular case is what we do, we go back to the county GIS, look at what the cost of that piece of property is, and then we sit down, determine what that value is, and then we discuss it with them, and then whether it is agreeable or not agreeable.
So it's just an easement,
Permanent easement,
permanent easement.
correct,
So the city is going to take care of the property.
correct.
And does this portion come off of their land owned and change their taxes?
Yes, it should.
So it's a church, so they're not paying anything anyway, so.
Right.
True, they're not, but others are, yeah.
I know-
It's the green part, but that's where the road's gonna go, coming off of McFarland.
Correct. Yeah,
And then the red part is the sidewalk.
by the blue is a piece of that sidewalk.
Right, and the blue part is temporary.
The blue part is their parking lot. We're in agreement with them in our agreement with them, we said that we would reach out for them, because they wanted to redo their parking lot, that we would reach out, since we get bids on various asphalt projects, and then those guys would give them a bid, and it's between the church and the asphalt contractor, not us. But we would help, work with them to be able to get that.
I know that we just had mowing contract discussions, and I'm very tenacious about the city being up to standard this year. Have we anticipated this being included within our mowing contracts?
We shouldn't have any of this. Most of this will all be concrete, asphalt.
Even better.
Even the center?
Correct, center will be concrete.
That can be modified.
I've got a wheelbarrow. Is there a motion?
Move to approve the agreement for the permanent easement with the Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those, ooh.
I would normally vote no, but this has already been signed. I voted against this roundabout, but it's pointless, so I'll support the request for the easement because we already have a contract to do this work.
I was candidly expecting that. I believe we had 5 yeas, 0 nays. Excellent. It's been passed. Moving on to item L, consideration of the grant of permanent utility easement near the Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church for the purpose of placing underground utilities in the amount of $927.71.
Madam Vice Mayor, again, this is the red piece next to the green triangular piece. What that is for the utilities for Evergy, cable company, and telephone companies to be able to put their lines underground. As part of this project, we have to remove some of these poles that you're attached to, and so we've afforded them that easement right there to be able to put that underground and get it back around the corner where they need to get it. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
So we're gonna remain in control, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Again, it's utility easement for us.
Move to approve the permanent utility easement near the Faith Evangelical Lutheran Church as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving to item L, consideration of the grant of permanent utility. Oh, just kidding. It's fun, guys. Moving on to item M, consideration of the grant of permanent utility easement in Lot 1, Block 1 of Redbud Ridge Number 1 for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, and repairing utility lines in the amount of $404.70.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, this is another piece of easement, the utility easement that is necessary for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, repairing utility lines. I don't know if my pointer will work. It won't
It's
work.
red, it's not gonna work.
If you look at the upper portion of the map there and to your right, there's a little strip in there. That is for the utility easement. That there's a partial utility easement in there now, but we need to stretch that out so that we can take the gentleman's driveway and bring it out to the west, so it is not in the
Which-
lane of
Is
the
this
Which
roundabout.
color are we talking about?
Is this the Osborne property or the
No, no, it's a
Alexander?
Tuggle.
Toggle. Oh,
That
yes.
little square, that little piece right there.
Yes, yes. They have a very cool house if you've ever drove through there.
But there is currently a utility easement that is in front, and we're just grabbing that other little piece of utility easement that we need to be able to get him out to the McFarland Road area.
Move to approve the permanent utility easement of Lot 1, Block 1 of the Redbud Ridge Number 1 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item N, consideration of the grant of permanent utility easement in Lot 1, Block 1 of Redbud Ridge Number 1 for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, and repairing utility lines.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, this would be the piece of property on the Osborns where you see that sewer line. Currently, up there, there's a line, the sewer line comes down through there. We did not know that was in there. As part of the agreement, we made a connection to be able to get them to the city main. And so that's why there is no cost involved in this. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Would you explain that one more time?
That sewer, there's a sewer main up there that we did not know was in there. And then that, what connects the house, the Osborne house up above. And so there was some damage to that line. And as we went in there to get those easements, we noticed that and get some repairs done when we did that utility repair with the water and sewer main. And we saw that and found that, so we had to make that connection so they could get the city's sanitary sewer. And in conjunction with that, they did not charge anything for the property easement.
So this was already there, but it was damaged.
You're correct. We did not know it was on the map.
Was it still working to some extent?
It was working and some of it was going underground, so we didn't catch it right off the bat, but we were able to do that once we dug that up.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Move to approve the permanent utility easement in Lot 1, Block 1, Redbud Ridge Number 1, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item O, consideration of the grant of permanent utility easement in Lot 1, Block 1 of Redbud Ridge Number 1 for the purpose of constructing, maintaining, and repairing utility lines.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, this would be on the Osborne property. It butts to the Tuggle, is that one little skinny piece that across there for the utility portion of it. But that also will give us the ability to get Mr. Tuggle out to McFarland Road. And again, us doing the repairs for the sewer line, they were very grateful and decided that there was no need for any kind of compensation for that piece.
Nice.
I agree.
I'd be happy to answer any questions you have.
Move to approve the permanent utility easement in Lot 1, Block 1, Redbud Ridge Number 1, as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All of those
Aye.
opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item P, consideration of the grant of a temporary construction easement for the purpose of constructing the McFarland Roundabout in the amount of $480.32.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, what this is a temporary construction easement. If you look up there on Mr. Alexander's, the blue section, that little blue piece, we need to be able to get on his property to be able to continue that sidewalk, and that will be in the next easement that we were looking at. So this is just a temporary, but we'll revert back to him. But for the temporary, he wanted a little bit of compensation, so that's what that $480.32 is.
Is this usable for him during the construction?
He has the ability.
He has
to
a
go
back
backside.
entrance.
I know,
Okay.
but is this usable for him? I'm just,
Yeah, once we get everything put in place, then it will be usable.
gotcha.
You're doing some reconstruction there, correct?
Correct. We're gonna reconstruct that driveway and be able to get that sidewalk through there, but he'll be able to get in there once we do that.
Move to approve the temporary construction easement
Second.
for the roundabout as presented.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries. Moving on to item Q, consideration of the grant of street right-of-way easement in the John Montgomery's annexation plat for the purpose of constructing and maintaining poles, wires, conduits, water, gas, and sewer pipes or required drainage channels or structures on the property in the amount of $2,388.35.
Madam Vice Mayor, Commissioners, again, if you look on the map, it's all that green section there. What it is there's a bunch of utilities that go through there, as well as our sidewalk that we will connect to the roundabout. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Move to approve the street right-of-way easement for the John Montgomery annexation plan as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, Commissioners.
Thank you, Mr. Ibarra. Moving on to 7, public comment. The commission requests that comments be limited to a maximum of 5 minutes each per person. Please state your name and address for the record. Martine?
Good evening, Martine Cherry Hiller, 1704 Lydia Lane. I hear JC. Good evening, commissioners and city staff and attendees. I want to come here to request some assistance from the commission for an event that we are doing in collaboration with Main Street Market in honor of Haitian Heritage Month, which ends on May 30th. We were going to request some street closure for a street marching band parade, but we don't need to do that because we're going to do it in the with the market, and we would like to get some support. As of a couple years ago, we got a proclamation for the month of May to be Haitian Heritage Month, so we'd like the city's support to finance the band that's coming here for the entertainment.
What is the cost of the band?
2,000.
2,000 flat.
Yes.
I believe you had previously brought this to discussion after the last meeting. Were you able to discuss this with city staff?
I spoke with the city manager. It was just a matter of coming here before the commission, just as I guess,
Understood.
standard procedure.
Have you met with the Convention and Visitors Bureau?
I have met with them, and I have an appointment to go there on their next meeting, so that's going to go beyond the date that I need.
So you didn't meet with them earlier this month before your event?
I'm sorry, sir?
You did not meet with them earlier this month or last month?
I did not meet with them because honestly, I didn't realize that they were the one I needed to reach out to. I thought more it was the city that I needed to come to, because it was a city proclaimed celebration. That's what I thought. You guys were the proper authorities.
As a newer commissioner, I don't know that I feel comfortable without being kind of given the history on what we do in these situations without the city manager here offering advice as to how these things go.
Mr. Wilcox, are you able to operate in the absence of Mr. Zimmerman to advise this circumstance?
I can, yes. What was the question? Sorry.
I don't know how out of the ordinary this is, or how usual it is, or if this is something that we do without any kind of upfront advice as to what we're doing or reading or.
Generally, what the city manager likes to see is a breakdown of what the event is going to be. That way he could present it to you guys. I'm pretty sure I saw an email earlier that this wasn't going to be on the agenda because I saw correspondence that she asked for money last week, and it was like past the agenda time, and it did not make the agenda. But we do have, I can squeeze $2,000 out one of our GLs, but at the same time, we don't want to set the precedent that every time you come last minute, we're just going to award you. That's my 2 cents.
So are you going to make a recommendation?
I know nothing about the event. I don't know when it is. I think we did pay for the event last year as well.
That was my
Or
next
the
question.
DJ. We paid for one of them. It was either the DJ or the headliner we paid for from last year as well. Different event, sorry. Thank you, Chris. But at a different event, we did pay for the event.
Martine, do you recall what amount we covered previously?
I believe it was 3,000. That was for the same nature, the band that would.
And
like this
you
time.
say 2,000?
Yeah, this one is 2,000, and I believe I'm supposed to be on the agenda for next commission about Harmony Fest and other proposals that I have, proposals that I have seeking collaboration with the city, because we have been working, providing mobile case management since the Harmony Center has closed.
How much will that be for that proposal?
The proposal
The next one,
that the one I'm coming up with,
with Harmony.
the Harmony Center, we would request about 150 for a match, because they have Department of Commerce.
What's the total
The total for which,
for the
the
other,
whole project?
for the, what you're requesting, will be requesting for the Harmony event?
Oh, the Harmony event is about like 3,500 for the same band.
Okay. The thing that I always get concerned about is the CVB should be doing some of this, and people come to us very late. And I think if they want money in the future for an event like this, they should come to the CVB first.
And we've mentioned that in the past as well.
I requested last year, you guys did not necessarily acknowledge my request.
I understand, but we get a lot of these people that are coming in, not just this, but where they're talking about visitors, and the CVB has funds for these things, and they should be the first line of inquiry. And I would say, come up with some policy about if someone wants money for a certain event that's not they need to come to go to the CVB if it has something to do with visitors or conventions. But be that as it may, since we did it last year, and I would move that we support the request
This
for.
is a different event.
Yeah,
This is separate.
we did a band for,
Harmony Fest.
yeah, it's Harmony Fest
In
for
August.
Drum Fire, authentic Haitian music, and it was for 3,500.
So who's sponsoring this group to come to the Main Street Market?
So it's still First Thousand Members Club hosting the event.
I mean, who is the sponsor of this part of the event? It's at Main Street, right?
I wouldn't necessarily, I would call them collaborators, because
But
I
they're
don't
the-
want to put the wrong
But it's at the-
terminology.
But it's at the market, right?
Yes, it will be.
Downtown.
Yes.
Okay, what part of this, who's sponsoring this part? That's what I'm trying to ask.
The part about the music,
Yes.
that's the one that we wanted the
She's asking us
city.
for it.
Yes.
Who's we, though? Who's we? That's what I'm saying. Who's we that's asking?
First Thousand Members Club is asking
Okay.
for the
I
city.
missed that. For who? Who was asking?
Okay, the Harmony Center is asking.
Okay.
As I stated many times before, you may not have been there, but First Thousand Members Club is operating under the name of the Harmony Center. So that's our DBA. So if I say First Thousand Members Club, whether I say First Thousand Members Club or I say the Harmony Center, we are speaking of the same entity. And we are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has been here since November 2022 and
If
have
the
been
band-
actively serving the community.
Okay, if the event, the band costs $2,000, what is the 1,000-member club contributing to that?
We're contributing the food that we're gonna have for the fundraiser that's going towards Harmony Fest. And we are also providing food for the band and other necessities they need,
But
travel.
so there's no cash from the 1,000-member club for the band, correct?
No, there's no cash for the band, but we're spending the money
I
for
understand, okay.
the. And just so I can just reiterate, this was a city proclaimed, the month of May was proclaimed by Mayor X or which
Commissioner
word do I
Landis.
use in this case? Former Mayor Pat Landis. He was the one who proclaimed the month of May and inviting the community to celebrate the month of May as Haitian Heritage Month. And since then, we have not necessarily received any support for the Haitian community in that regard. So this is my, attempt to see if the city would back something that they themselves have.
I think the obstacle in this conversation is the close proximity of this conversation in regard to the event and the lack of materials provided ahead of time. I don't know that it's necessarily a resistance to support you holistically, but I would suspect it is the short notice of deeding these funds.
I have sent an invoice. I have sent the contract and invoice to the city manager. And from my understanding, he said to me that he was taking it to the finance office. And another thing, from my understanding, I come to the commission as a standard procedure, but my understanding is that he has discretion to approve a certain amount with or without this, this meeting, so.
Mr. Wilcox, did you receive that invoice?
If we had the invoice, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. It would already been paid. We haven't sent an invoice. Because if he gets an invoice, he forwards it to me, and it's paid literally within the week.
So I think she's speaking of maybe some kind of estimate of what they're going to charge you, right? Not an invoice to be paid?
No, okay. So they sent the quote for the event, which is the $2,000, and they also sent something that says invoice, and it breaks down on what it is that they are offering.
Who's they?
The band.
Who's the band?
It's called Ayati Lara Band.
Is that a local band?
No, it's a band out of St. Louis.
St. Louis.
They don't have that kind of offerings here in Junction City.
I think we need to pass on this and then refer her to the CVB in the future. I think that's where your funding needs to come from for events like this, so.
Thank you, sir. I wasn't aware.
You know, we have to be careful when we start doing things, just hear what's come in. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I know you do lots of things in this town, but we just have to be careful. We still don't have a policy really lined up yet as far as how we're gonna address these issues,
Amen. I'm
right?
very
So
tenacious about that.
I think we need to do that first and then, but encourage you to contact the CVB
Yes,
in the future.
I agree, Commissioner Landis. This highlights a bigger issue within city operations, that we do not have a formalized published funding request process at this time to help people such as Martine understand who to go to first, what documentation to provide, when it should be city versus county versus CBB, et cetera. So I completely recognize the pain point of you simply lacked the resources and guidance to come to this with your best foot forward, and I do not fault you for that in the slightest. But I do agree, in this circumstance, I feel it would fall best under the CVB. With that in mind, I do hope that with Harmony Fest on the horizon, that's in August, if I remember correctly?
Yes.
Excellent. So with Harmony Fest on the horizon, I would ask that you start those conversations with the CVB, with the county. From what I've seen in previous meetings, there may be a match circumstance where they provide a certain amount and we match that amount. So my personal guidance to offer would be go to the CVB first, the county second, and then let us know what that yields. And then from there, hopefully late June, early July, perhaps, you can come to us and say, hey, I had these conversations. This is what this yielded in my experience. In exchange, this is the support that I will come and ask of you. And,
I'd like, on the Harmony event, I would
Mhm.
like it by June 15th.
okay,
Personally,
Plenty early.
because, and to have gone to the CVB first. Because I think the county actually decides what the CVB is gonna do monetarily,
yeah.
perhaps.
In the current state of their leadership, I believe that is the case.
May I add something as well?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm wondering if this shouldn't be a part of the budget process, with presentations and data and, similar to the other events, so that it's, it's a planned event for the future and part of the budget.
I will give Mr. Wilcox his flowers here. He and I have had conversation in passing already surrounding not only forming a funding process, but establishing a timeline with budget season in mind to create a certain time period where people and entities such as Martine and the 1,000 Members Club can anticipate that season coming and follow the process accordingly. There's certainly much more to come with that conversation, but I do hope through this year's budget experience, we can set that precedent. That is an excellent call out, Mayor Butler. So Martine, what I'm hearing at this time is it sounds as though the city is not prepared to support you in that way for this event specifically. But we do hope to find the opportunity to look at supporting you for your event in August.
May I ask what discretionary funds that you guys may have to jump in, even though, as I mentioned to you from the last meeting, I came here to address that, but I spoke about the trip to DC, which I sent emails and I have not received any feedback from anyone regarding that. And I kind of had a couple things and I focused on one, and one totally slipped my mind. And as you know, I came here the last time to address that. It wasn't like I waited this very last minute to mention that. And this is the only commission meeting between now and May 30th. And once May is over, it's really no longer Haitian Heritage Month. So I understand that I needed to go to the CVB, and as I stated, it was out of ignorance that I did not go to them first. And when I actually did go to them, they have scheduled me for June 2nd, I believe. June 2nd is when I go. And at that point, just like I said, it would be already past.
Who within
that.
the CVB are you meeting with?
Mindy, well, I'm meeting with their board, the board. But when I went, I met with Mindy, and Mindy is the one who gave me an application there. It seems like they now have an application packet that you have to fill out. Yes, they do, which is nice, very nice. So, yes.
Give me a copy of that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not interested in going to DC.
Oh, I understand. I was just saying that the last time I was here, I was to address that,
I understand.
and I did not because I was over focusing on going to DC and seeing if the city wanted to send representative with the 1,000 Members Club. So that was just to say, if you guys would like to consider that I acted out of ignorance and I acted out of sheer forgetfulness, I guess.
I think at this time we will have to pass against the support, but beyond the upcoming event in August, what I will ask is, you said it's the entire month of May, is that correct?
Yes, it's the entire month of May.
What I would ask, let's find this as an opportunity to be even more successful next year. Let's start these conversations in February, in March. Give us a heads up. That way, if you do come to us, we can then say, we need these materials, we need these documents. We can hold your hand through that and set you up for success to make sure that we are collaborating as intentionally as possible.
But may I ask a question though? Just one question. If a city proclaims a certain month to be celebrating something, don't they know about it as well?
Yes, but
Yeah,
it does
so-
not guarantee funding of support.
Okay.
And it is not directly tied to a singular entity, is my understanding.
Technically, it is. They're just doing me a favor, so I didn't have to wait on permit because
I mean,
I spoke with Chris.
the
we-
proclamation itself is in proclamation of the culture, not regarding a specific entity such as the one that you operate.
We are the one that they awarded the proclamation to because we are the Haitian-led entity in Junction City.
Mr. Stites, do we have any information about that documentation?
We can go back and look at it. Proclamations by themselves aren't any guarantee of funding. We did a proclamation on childcare. We haven't given any money directly to childcare. We do proclamations throughout the year. What it is an acknowledgement of history, culture, impact, and all that. Like we do Small Business Day in November, but it doesn't mean the city goes out and buys things from small businesses. So there's no legal obligation from that, aside from acknowledging what it is. Now, sometimes it may have an impact on a grant somebody's seeking, but besides that, there's no financial obligation on behalf of the city.
Thank you, Mr.
The
Stites.
only other thing I would say, there's probably a time in the budget process also, is that right?
Yes.
Where this should be presented for next year, correct? What day would that be and what time?
Get her on the calendar for probably sometime in July, probably the second meeting in July.
And you would suggest I would, the detailed description.
Well, I'm making a list of 12 things that we need for a budget process. I just wrote the list right now because this is a common theme where,
Can you share that with Martine, please?
well, when I'm finished writing it, I will. I'll
Not
share
this
with you.
minute.
Yeah, I'll share with you as well.
Okay, thank you.
But I do see a trend, to be honest. It seems like every single time I request, that's when you will remember that you need to put together a process. It's like the playing field is not quite leveled.
This is the first time you've brought a request to the new commission, and you may remember during my campaigning days, I did make a point of this need, and there is intention to pursue it. Unfortunately, these things do take time,
I understand.
but I.
And one more thing I would like to request,
Mhm.
were you going to say something?
Nope, go ahead, proceed.
No, you can go ahead and. Okay, one more thing I noticed yesterday, I went to the municipal court with one of our clients for translation services. When I got there, they had someone from God knows where, maybe an outside agency providing translation services. In all honesty, that if we want to keep the dollars local, we should use local providers of those services, because when you hire or when you contract somebody from God knows where, they spend their dollars somewhere else. When you contract with First Thousand Members Club for translation services, whatever funds, it goes to serving the people we serve through case management here. I feel there should be some kind of prioritizing local businesses, local organizations first, because those are services that we offer, and we should be first line before they go.
I agree.
Recruit
Mr.
some-
Stites, how do we engage those translation services locally? How do you do that? Do you have any process?
We don't have a formal process, but the thing is, the vast majority of the time, the languages needed are either Spanish or Korean. Now, we haven't had an influx where we had French or Haitian here recently. and also we've had Chuki as well from the Pacific Islands.
Do
And
we
so,
pay,
so we have languages that we don't have, because the thing is, Spanish, we do have multiple city staff who are fluent, so we utilize them first, because that's a cost-saving thing.
but I'm talking about just, do we pay so much per session when that happens?
When we utilize that service, yes, it's at least an hour minimum of what their rate is. Because we did have one or two languages that we try to use other locals. We didn't, now, I don't believe that we realized or knew that 1,000 members puts out the service. May I help you?
It sounds like we have an opportunity to have that conversation.
But if we would have known that, we'd utilize it, but I've never seen an advertisement for it. So she would like to, next week when I'm back in, because I'm teaching this week, drop that off. We can look at utilizing and see what languages that they do provide, because we've had conversations offline, other things, and I never knew that. But we try to utilize local people, like with Korean. We utilize local people for Korean as well. So if
Okay,
it's available and we know of it, we utilize it.
there you go.
Excellent.
I have in my flyers and all, like the flyers about the Harmony Center, we have French and Haitian translation services
Martine,
Could be
listed.
an oversight. I mean, I can give,
I would like, the reason why
Martine.
I'm saying that,
in
Yes.
respect to public comment, we have strayed from the original topic that you have presented. I am interested in furthering this conversation, but I feel this is not the time and place at this point. I will request that do go ahead, send Mr. Zimmerman a write-up. I will ask the expectation that he includes the commissioners and Mr. Stites, since he is part of our legal department, in that conversation, and that way we can anticipate it moving forward.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Excellent.
thank you.
Moving forward from public comment, we're gonna move to commissioner comments. Commissioner Landis?
Hats off to the codes department. They have a thankless job, and they perform at a very high level and are very professional at all times. Your write-ups are really well done. Photographs are much appreciated. We didn't get those for a long time, so thank you for the work that you do. I know it's tedious and tough, but we appreciate it, so thank you. That's all I have.
Commissioner Panera?
Me? Okay.
The one and only.
Well, I'm going to put my 2 cents in on the discussion that I have heard about in the community about the MAC and the EDC. I would like to suggest that we talk about with the county. I've mentioned this to one commissioner, the county commissioner, that we maybe have the MAC take that responsibility for the county and the EDC be taken over by the city. That's my suggestion. I want to put it on the table. I know there are a lot of ideas out there, but I think that anything that happens in the city, EDC-wise, also includes the county. And the MAC, we could figure out the funding, and I would just like to suggest that as something of thought to consider.
I did hope to discuss that change in employment at the recent county meeting, but Mother Nature decided otherwise. My understanding is that the next joint meeting will be in August. Do you feel that is a palatable time frame, or that a meeting needs to occur sooner?
I don't want to set up the time frame. I just think it's a suggestion, and I know there are lots of people in the mix.
Okay.
Also, the 8th and Franklin work is really good. We finally, over a year, more than a year, that maybe a year and 2 years, that corner of 8th and Franklin that was in bad repair is fixed, and the entrance to the driver's license building is fixed, and it really looks good, and I appreciate that. I also want to speak to Raythert Stadium. On May 30th is the first event there, home team. And over a year ago, I asked that we do some work. Most of it is sprucing up, especially the lots outside, the planters, some painting of some curbs, filling in some cracks and potholes. And there was and I think all of this could be done in-house, and it shouldn't take long. There's some painting of those structures that are outside the facility there's chip paint that's visible, and I hope that we can look at that. I'm also I'm waiting for the valuation to come out. Do you know when that's going to be?
before June 15th.
for the
Yeah,
mill levy?
they have to have it to us by June 15th.
June 15th.
Yes.
But I mentioned to the city manager that I'm looking at 3 to 6 mills. I'm looking on the higher side because the valuations are gonna go up 6% according to the county appraiser. And I think, we've been paying a lot of debt off over time. That's why the mill levy's been high. I think the taxpayers are entitled to some relief. Also, there was a editorial in the local newspaper about Grant Avenue work yesterday, like it was something that was new, and we have talked about doing this last year. We budgeted it last year, and it's starting now. And I want to make sure that the community knows that we've planned for this for an entire year, if not a little more, for the overlay and all the other work that's going to be done there. So finally, I want to speak to another discussion that's been around the community about the acquisition of a potential facility for some public works. I think we need to follow our process, which requires an RFP, and we need to contain in that RFP all the things that are sought. But in any event, I want to remind the staff that the last city commission said we need to fix what we have. Fix what we have. And we need to do that. And I'm going to suggest that. I am very much opposed to a location in a prominent area of a public works facility on Grant Avenue or anywhere else on a major street. Most public works facilities are off and out of sight of the community. Our current location has served us for some time. That current location, if you go look at it, it is not an appealing site, an eyesight. It's kind of an eyesore, if you want to say it, and I think putting that on a main street would be a mistake. In 1954, a local attorney, Howard Harper, came before this city commission and begged the city commission not to build a wastewater treatment plant on Grant Avenue. It passed and it went forward, and we've been paying for that ever since. I think if we put a public works building on Grant, that will not be a good thing for the community. So those are my comments for tonight.
Thank you, Commissioner Panera. Mayor Butler, are you still with us?
I am with you, and I just have a couple comments. So I had a chance to attend the ADC 50 in Washington, D.C. It was a great opportunity. There was a lot of networking. Congressman Schmidt will be joining us for our VIP tour for the RERC the morning of May 27th. The second item is the RERC, which is next week, May 27th in the evening, May 28th all day. I do encourage the community to really consider showing up for this. You can register on the Junction City Main Street Facebook page. It has been pinned to the top. And then currently I am out in Denver, Colorado. We have brought 11 businesses to come and learn how to become a destination business, moving outside of our community and bringing clients into our community. So it's been a tremendous day, and I look forward to the next day and a half. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Commissioner Nimzik?
I just want to respond to Commissioner Panera about a couple of things. I look forward also to looking at the mill levy. I think that is something that we need to address, and probably need to address it sooner than now, just because the assessments are going to never stop increasing. And I think that's a real situation for people who are on fixed income. So I look forward to that. I look forward to the EDC conversation as well. And I think that there's going to be a lot of conversations had over these things. Also, I do notice quite a bit, as I'm sure y'all do, that a lot of the things that we're working on does not get out to the public on a regular basis. So they don't know, and I don't know how we fix that, and I don't know if that's a city thing, that it's just not being put out as much as it could be as to what's going on if you're not watching the meetings. Maybe there should be something
we have a PIO officer, but it's hard in these days.
It's hard
get
to
information
reach.
to the community.
Yeah, it really is, and there's just a lot of people that don't know what's going on, and it's an uphill battle just getting everyone informed as to what's going on.
I will note too, we've adopted a recent process where rather than waiting for the next meeting to approve the minutes, we have started placing upon our social media channels a recap of what was discussed in a meeting and action taken. This is very new, started with the last meeting, so we do
I
hope
saw
that,
Yeah,
yes,
Yeah, hopefully it'll.
help foster that awareness, absolutely.
sure.
Anything else, Commissioner Nimzik?
No.
Okay, thank you. I have no commentary. Mr. Stites?
The only thing on policies is Mr. Wilcox and I are gonna be working on fiscal and other related policies, but I think right now he's in the middle of the audit. And so that's kind of taking priority, but that's one of our goals this year. Thankfully, now the personnel policy's passed. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Wilcox? Ms. Diaz de Lorenzo? Our IT staff in place of Mr. Darrow? Anything for us? Thank you. Chief Lankus? Mr. Ibarra?
For celebration for National Public Works Week, we are gonna hold a cookout at Public Works, Friday from, 12 to 1, and all city staff is invited as well as the commissioners and mayor and vice mayor, so we'd be welcome to have you come out there and check out the, facility and the people that serve this community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Osborne? Mr. Strackengas? Mr. Gray? Chief Nichols? Ms. O'Shea?
I have quite the list this evening. I apologize in advance. So we have a few fun activities going on in our community coming up. First, I'm going to start out with Goat Yoga at 12th Street. I know that sounds a little bit wild, but that'll be a really fun event. If anyone's interested, that's going to be June 20th. Our pool is going to be opening on May 30th. Admission is $3 per person. I do believe we have family packages and passes available as well. So if you're interested in paying, one fell swoop, that's an option for you as well. Splash Pad is already open though, so if you have little ones that you'd like to kind of utilize that is also an option until the pool opens.
Can big people use it too?
I don't think we'll stop you, to be honest, unless we get complaints, right, Chief? I don't know. I'll
Break
chuck
out
that
my
one over to
water
him,
wings.
but
Thank you.
and then just a friendly reminder. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I skipped one. We've got the bike rodeo as well at 12th Street on May 30th. That's where our little guys can come and they can get bike helmet fittings. There's some cool additions that they can get to their bicycles. You can check on safety. I think there's like training wheels. There's some classes involved. Bike safety on the road. Really cool opportunity for our little guys. We want to make sure they stay safe out there. Our city offices will be closed on the 25th in honor of Memorial Day. The trash schedule will be put out on our socials sometime this week, so just keep an eye out for that. Because we are closed on Monday, the trash schedule does kind of get adjusted to that. What else we have? Oh, Spin City. They're going to be open on May 22nd, 30th, June 10th, June 17th, and June 27th. That is on their personal Facebook page if you want more information. I do believe all of the events are all ages approved, so anyone of any shape, size, whatever can come, which we love. Main Street Market is from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on Saturdays. We have a lot of really awesome vendors coming out, as well as our local food trucks, and we've got some awesome local farmers with some amazing fresh produce out there. So I highly recommend doing that. Then also on Thursdays is the Geary County Farmers Market. I want to make the distinction between the two of them. Two different events, but same awesome people who help put them on. So that's cool. May 23rd. We have the Ride for Veterans Open Scramble at Rolling Meadows. That's still open for people who would like to enroll. I believe I'm so sorry, I'm a little bit sick right now. I believe it's $100 for a team of 4, and admissions are still open. So if you want to do that, feel free. I'm so sorry. Finally, I just want to give a shout out to Main Street for their help with Armed Forces Day. I just want to commend Jordan McCann. She does a lot of great work for the city, and she's been working very closely with me recently. And I feel like Main Street just kind of needed some separate recognition there. So thank you, Jordan, and thank you, McKenna. And then finally, I just want to close with, there is a movie in the park with JCPD on June 12th. That's at 9 p.m. That's going to be at Heritage Park. And then finally, I am totally willing to do the whole project thing. I do ask for a little bit of grace. I'm still getting used to all, the information, and there's like a boatload. Sometimes it feels like you're getting hit in the face with a fire hydrant. So I understand the citizens who are like, what the heck's going on? So I will make more of an effort to do those things. So if like city project updates is something that interests you, we can definitely discuss that further.
I will note about 1 year ago is when the projects that were to be presented today were originally approved. They were posted on the Facebook page, so you might be able to go back and find those and then just reshare them. And of course, once we provide the update next meeting, perhaps we can facilitate that.
Perfect.
So,
Yeah.
good news, it's there.
Awesome. Okay, thank you. And if you
Thank
need any
you.
questions, you know where to find me. I'm in the basement.
Did I miss any staff?
Move to adjourn.
Second? Yays? Yep, let's send it. Thanks, folks.
Aye.